diverse environmental pollution problems have arisen as a result of economic activities throughout the world. Central governments and local authorities have played leading roles in controlling environmental pollution by establishing emission standards and monitoring compliance with related regulations. Despite the introduction of emission standards, however, many developing countries have failed to check compliance with such standards or to monitor environmental performance. This failure is primarily due to insufficient human and financial resources. Such emissions control is geared specifically to contaminants. In many cases, end-of-pipe or EOP technology, which is final sewage treatment technology, has been introduced to production processes as a means of controlling emissions. EOP technology, designed to combat pollutants generated in the production process, involves treatment of flue gas or wastewater. EOP systems effectively reduce pollutant emissions, so long as operation is managed properly. Since EOP system introduction requires increased capital investment and operation cost, it is difficult for developing countries to adopt EOP technology aggressively. Effective EOP system function also requires operating and managing technologies. In many developing countries, however, such technologies have not been introduced, and even in developing countries where they have been introduced, they are often not used, owing to lack of financial resources, resulting in failure to comply with emissions standards. Moreover, many companies also have problems regarding their attitude toward environmental conservation. Such problems include productivity-oriented management, low awareness regarding environmental issues, poor production management, shortage of human resources, and lack of funding for capital investment. In view of this situation, many countries have recently focused their attention on introducing cleaner production, CP, which is designed not only to remove pollutants, but also to ensure compatibility between pollution load reduction and corporate profit increase. Cleaner production is an approach to environmental management proposed and launched by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program, in 1989. Cleaner production is defined as the continuous application of an integrated, preventive environmental strategy to processes, products, and services to increase efficiency and reduce risk to humans and the environment. The integrated preventive environmental strategy comprises, for example, conservation of resources, energy saving, elimination of toxic raw materials or reduction, and recycling of wastes and emissions. Companies achieve the following 5 results by introducing cleaner production. The first is improved environmental performance. Environmental pollution load is reduced, and environmental quality is improved. The second is increased production efficiency. Production is increased relative to raw material input. The third result is cost reduction. Wastes and emissions which require treatment and disposal are minimized, as are treatment and disposal costs themselves. The fourth is reduced raw material consumption and energy conservation. The problems of raw material and energy shortage are resolved by promoting efficient use of resources. The fifth result is an improved working environment. The risk of accident is reduced by keeping the factory clean and by eliminating wastes, emissions, and toxic substances. Now let's compare cleaner production and EOP approaches. The EOP approach is based on efficient treatment at the final pre-disposal stage of pollutants generated in the manufacturing process. Cleaner production, on the other hand, is based on reducing environmental pollution load by focusing not on wastes and emissions themselves, but on the causes of environmental problems, such as the working environment, the production process, and the raw materials used. The EOP approach means that technologies and systems treat wastewater and flue gas, whereas cleaner production involves environmental management to improve environmental performance. EOP focuses on wastes and emissions generated in the production process, whereas cleaner production has application not only to production processes, but throughout the product life cycle, from initial design all the way through to consumption and final disposal. An important feature of cleaner production is that by preventing inefficient use of resources and avoiding unnecessary generation of waste, companies can benefit from reduced operating, waste treatment, and disposal costs. In short, the result is enhanced cost effectiveness. Now let's look at the profit effect of cleaner production. If product price and productivity remain constant, EOP treatment introduction increases fixed cost and decreases corporate profit. Cleaner production, however, requires less fixed cost and leads to increased profit. This can be presented in graphic form. If the production volume of a certain factory is Q0, its profit can be presented as the difference between A and B. When the factory introduces EOP treatment as an environmental measure, fixed cost increases because of capital investment, and profit is reduced, since the cost of production volume, Q0, increases from B to B1. However, when a factory adopts cleaner production as an environmental measure, fixed cost increases, but variable cost is reduced by eliminating waste of raw materials and decreasing energy input, and the cost of production volume, Q0, decreases from B to B2. As a result, profit increases. Therefore, environmental measures involving cleaner production bring profit to companies and optimize economic efficiency. Unlike EOP treatment, which comprises technology or systems for environmental measures, companies deciding to adopt cleaner production must enhance understanding of the concept of cleaner production and implement management tasks, such as for control of raw materials, processes, and equipment. In introducing cleaner production, moreover, raw material and energy prices must be considered, as must production facility operating conditions, for the following three reasons. First of all, cleaner production is not a standardized technology or system. When deciding to introduce clean production, each company must come up with concrete measures suitable for its current conditions. Secondly, in examining concrete measures, each company needs to ascertain where, how, and how much raw materials and energy are wasted in the company's production processes. In this case, raw material and energy wastage means the difference between raw material or energy input to the production process and raw material or energy transformed into product. Thirdly, although cleaner production achieves greater economy, an initial investment will be necessary according to the desired extent of improvement. Companies have to do an economic evaluation to ensure that the investment is worthwhile in terms of business management. Environmental issues of today are no longer limited to regional types such as river and seawater contamination, groundwater pollution, air pollution, and accumulation of hazardous waste. They have expanded to the global level and now include global warming due to increased CO2 concentration, acid rain, depletion of the ozone layer, rainforest destruction, desertification, and diminishing water resources. To create a sustainable economic society while resolving environmental problems at both the regional and global levels, active cooperation among governments, the private sector, and the public is essential in making attitudes more environmentally friendly. Since the oil crisis of the 1970s, Japan has experienced a multitude of economic fluctuations and has made every effort to achieve compatibility between improved production efficiency and reduced environmental load. The nation's efforts have focused on waste avoidance and management through the promotion of energy and resource saving, production method review, and waste recycling. As a result, Japanese companies have successfully accumulated knowledge and experience in line with the cleaner production concept. Such knowledge and experience has thus far been used as measures for pursuing economic profit. Recently, however, they have drawn much attention from abroad as environmental measures of high adaptability. Companies that voluntarily promote their efforts toward environmental conservation establish policies or goals concerning the environment. This is called environmental management. The systems and procedures established in factories and companies to implement environmental management are collectively called the Environmental Management System, EMS, which is in line with the cleaner production concept. Now, let's take a look at some case studies involving cleaner production. In the Japanese brewery industry, efforts based on environmental concerns have been underway for some time now. The Yokohama plant of Kirin Brewery Corporation Limited is Japan's first factory to achieve 100% recycling of wastes and byproducts generated in the process of beer manufacture, thereby attaining the zero waste goal. Beer lees generated in the production process are spun dry and reused as fertilizer or mushroom compost. Glass bottles are recycled more than 20 times over a period of 8 years. Bottles are classified according to color and reused as material called cullet to make new bottles. As part of their efforts toward achieving zero emissions, the factory ensures collection of separated waste. Thus, the Japanese brewery industry has implemented comprehensive environmental management based on the aims of ISO 14000. At this plant, for example, a Japanese consumer electronics maker produces personal computers and video cameras with emphasis on environmental conservation. Early commitment to environmental protection has successfully led to this company's business improvement. This plant generates more than 1 ton of plastic waste per day. This waste, formerly disposed of as industrial waste, is now collected and recycled by an associated material company. As collection cost, the plant pays 2/3 of the disposal cost to the Associated Material Company and purchases garbage bags made of recycled plastic waste at half price. Such efforts have enabled reduction of both environmental load and production costs. Environmental measures achieved through cleaner production are highly applicable in developing countries. However, cleaner production is not a panacea for all environmental problems. As long as production activities involve natural resources, it is impossible to remove all environmental pollutants by cleaner production. The EOP approach is still necessary. To resolve environmental problems, we have thus far resorted mainly to EOP technology and systems. However, we should actively introduce cleaner production, aiming at developmental compatibility that does not stymie economic growth and environmental conservation. There is growing concern about the worsening regional environmental destruction resulting from rapid economic progress and global environmental problems. To tackle these environmental problems, it is essential to combine EOP treatment and cleaner production in an appropriate manner.